a lot of us are always dealing with something. A lot of us have something to hide all the time. It's not necessarily something bad. It's just something that is hard to share. Hard to share. Life isn't always easy, but sometimes we pretend like it's easier than it actually is. Some people can be the happiest people in the world, but at their core, be some of the saddest people in the world. For some people, it seems like they're really not trying for anything, but really that's just the best way they know how to do something. But really, it's just that the knowledge and the experience that they have is just what they have. There's no more, there's no less, that's what they know. And the reactions that they have to certain things, their tendencies, their behavior, their personality traits, they all come together to create this thing that allows them to always be the best that they can be, even if from another person's perspective, it does not seem like it's the best that they can output. But in reality, that really is it. That's their best. Everyone is always doing their best at every given point in time. And now it may not seem like it at first, but you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know how they're processing things. The outcome that you see, the things that they do, the resulting actions that they have, that they do, that they produce, that's the best they can do at that point in time, because that's the level of processing that allowed them to get to that point, to get to that conclusion. Now, it's always debatable if it's the right outcome, the right result, the right conclusion, but this is what they got. So it's a really complex and interesting phenomenon, psychological phenomenon, which is why we're going to talk about it. Which is why we're going to talk about it today. We're going to be talking about exactly why everyone is always trying their best and how everyone is always trying their best, even if it does not seem like it from either their perspective or other people's perspective, or both. So without further ado, let's get into this interesting conversation without me becoming too passionate about it. So, see you soon. Hello, beautiful people, beautiful souls, robots, water bears, polar bears, dogs, cats, lizards. Yeah. My name is Keisha Nunley, and I am the owner, founder, and designer of Cosmic Desist, a clothing brand that's dedicated to illustrating mental and emotional health issues through art and poetry. I can't get the words out, while also providing my own unique thoughts and perspectives and experiences on how I have healed and how I believe you guys can heal and grow. So like I said in the beginning of the video, this particular video, actually, let me apologize for taking so long to make another one. Just haven't had the time. But hopefully I have time today to batch record, so that'll be a good thing. But like I said in the beginning of today's video, this topic is particularly interesting because it's caused a lot of arguments, I'm sure, for everybody in terms of whether you're trying your best or not. Because sometimes you actually are, and people just don't believe you. Or from an outsider's perspective, it's like that may be your best, but it's just not good enough, which, it's always up for debate whether or not that is a reasonable conclusion. Right? It's a very complex issue and phenomenon that a lot of people deal with. No, not a lot of people, everyone deals with. You can be the judger or the judgee. It's either one. It's either one. It's always happening, which is why this is gonna be such a interesting and important video to have, because a lot of people don't really think about this that much. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let me illuminate your mind on what Cosmic Desist actually is. So if you go to the Cosmic Desist website, you'll find obviously all the clothes, all the art, all the poetry, but you'll also find a lot of subtle things that walk you through the journey of what Cosmic Desist is, how you fit into it, who you are, who I am. There's a blog that goes over the intricacies of my mind and how I produce things, some brand updates, some philosophies, and how I perceive the world, and some other interesting tidbits about myself. And perhaps you, if you ask any questions and I answer them. Amongst other things, you have videos, you have photo shoots, you got giveaways to happen every so often when I feel like it. And there's always something in there for everybody. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You can go to the website, you don't gotta buy anything. You can just read it. And if it's still not for you, cool, that's high. But for those of you whose interest is piqued, you'll always find something to help you heal, to inspire you, to make you feel more like an artist, to make you feel like someone sees you, hears you, resonates with you, because that's what this brand is about. I truly believe you will find something there, because I know I have. God, even if I made it, I know I have. So, without further ado, let's begin this interesting and somewhat passionate video. All right. So, I didn't make any points for this video beforehand. I feel like there's just so much in my brain going on that I could just talk about it. And I'm gonna try my best not to get too passionate about it, because I really do feel that strongly about the subject. And I'll try not to cuss. I'll make some substitutions. So let me start off by saying that life is full of a lot of BS, like a lot of BS. You're not full of BS. Life is. You got other people around you just doing dumb things. You experience traumatic things. Your knowledge is largely impacted by those around you, your school system, whatever country you're in, whatever city you're in. Excuse me. There are so many factors that go into living this human existence. And it can be exhausting at times. It's exhausting. It can be so confusing. It could feel like, I try this thing and it doesn't work. I try this thing and it doesn't work. I try this thing and it works, but I don't know why. I try this thing and I know why, but nobody else understands it. It's just like, you can't win sometimes. You can't win. And sometimes you're flying super, super duper high, and everyone is admiring you because of the actions that you've taken. But when you're flying that high, sometimes the reason you got to that point is because you're following other people's directions and not your own intuition, and it doesn't feel that good. It feels like you're flying high because you're not following your own dream, you're following other people's dreams. And that may be a good result at times, but you could be up here, right? There's when you follow other people's directions and dreams, and this is you when you follow yours. And that's always your best result, right? If you have enough discernment, enough good discernment, enough good intuition, enough good experiences and knowledge, you go from here to up here. Stratosphere, magnetosphere, exosphere, and beyond. And if you don't know what those are, it's just the different levels of atmosphere of the earth. Whew. Passion came out. But that's just what it is, right? You're always trying your best to not only please yourself, but please other people. And that's the conundrum, right? You don't want to do that. Your goal should always be to please yourself. And it's so hard. It's easier said than done, because some of your decisions, quite frankly, might be kind of bad. It might be confusing. But your decisions are always the best decision you can come up with at that point. You might be dealing with depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD, whatever. You might have eating disorders, right? And that's part of like decision making as well. There's so much going on within each and every one of us. And the way that we process things, like say if you're autistic, if you're on the spectrum, the way that we process things that's a big example, is so much different than everybody else's. Everyone has their own unique way of processing things. But sometimes what happens is, if they constantly observe that the way that they process things is not socially acceptable, they act like everybody else. And they're performing their best in that manner to fit in, but it is not their best in terms of being their true self. Excuse me. Ain't that some BS? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? We have, as a species, evolved into something, some might say devolved, into something that is quite saddening from a higher perspective. It is quite troublesome. It is quite confusing. But the higher perspective that I'm describing is not something in terms of pity. It is something in terms of, I have to help because I care, and the things that I'm seeing are concerning and are not the best for the entity, that the being, the life form, the beautiful existence. They are not deserving of what they are experiencing. All they need is a little help. All they need is a little bump, a push in the right direction. That's all they need. Let me get some water. This is a big jug, I'm sorry. It's Deer Park too, but it's not very good. I was playing ball yesterday. And I was not making my shots sometimes. Oh, I was making my shots earlier, but later on, I was not making. I was so irritated. I'm so inconsistent. I got to do more drills. Yeah, dude, the amount of obstacles and trauma that you have and the knowledge that you have absorbed is so influential in terms of how you go about life. Let's give an example. For people who are bad, quote unquote. That's from the perspective of being bad, right? A lot of this is really a psychological development outline. Excuse me. Ooh. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? You're a child, right? You're born, you come out the womb, you don't have an actual semblance of consciousness until maybe you're like 2 or 3, or maybe even earlier than that if you're special. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Sorry, this is a lot to come up right now. And when you start out, things are pretty good. But sometimes your familial circumstances, your friendships, your romantic relationships are quite interesting in that they are way too complex and abnormal and toxic and chaotic for a being that pure. Like, you came into the world already dealing with stupid stuff, dumb stuff. Right? And on the other side, maybe you don't come out like that. Maybe you have a good family. You maybe have good romantic relationships and friendships, and then certain things happen to turn you into an alcoholic, a drug addict, someone who vies for power all the time, someone who is always angry and finds pleasure in the violence because that's how they get their emotions out, that's how they get everything out. It's not necessary. All those things are not necessarily the best way of healing, but that's what they know. That's the best way. Those are the best ways they know how to deal with it. And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily good habits, but that's just the best thing that they know, because they don't have anybody around them to show them a better way. And you can debate me on what's better or not, but if you really think about it, constantly consuming alcohol, constantly consuming drugs, always acting out in a fit of rage, constantly being sad or hiding yourself away to not deal with things because you think it's easier that way, those are not good habits. I think we can all come to that conclusion that those are not good habits. Now, you can drink a little bit if you want to smoke a little weed or whatever. You do what you want as long as it's in healthy amounts. If you're a fighter, if you're a boxer, cool, that's your job, right? As long as but the point of everything is you want things to come out in a healthy manner. But a lot of people that do a lot of bad things, a lot of confusing things from a different perspective, do those things because that's the best thing that they know. Their environment, their support system, the people that they're around, their mentors have showed them that way for them. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because if you don't know better, if you have not seen better, if you have not experienced better, there's nothing you could do, right? You can only do things with the tools that you have. That's it. Now, you don't have to have empathy for everybody, but you should be able to understand. If you want to grow, you should be able to learn how to understand what other people are going through. Life is not easy. You may have been born into a very wealthy or lucky family, like you live full of love and you have a good support system, you have great friends, but a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people work extremely hard just to get the bare minimum, and then to deal with the fact that they have the bare minimum, they make decisions from an outsider's perspective that may not really seem healthy, but that's just the best that they got. And they try to improve, and they're getting there. They're always growing, but there's always something popping up to test them, to show them where they still need to grow. And if they don't have the proper support system, they can go right back to where they started, because that's the way they process life. That's how they deal with it. That's how they deal with it. Sorry for the pause. I'm just processing what I said and how to continue. But that's, like I said, that's where empathy comes in. That's where understanding comes in. Although you may have your own perspective on, your life and what's best for you, and how other people have their own perspective on what's best for them or what's best for you or whatever. It's important to understand that it's just not you living here, right? Everyone's hardships are different. Even if from a different viewpoint, your life may be easier, you still have things that you go through, right? Other people still have things that they go through. If you go to work, observe your coworkers, observe people walking around, right? There's always different mannerisms and behavioral patterns and cognitive reasoning and thought processes and the way that people speak. There's always those things that highlight who they actually are and how they process things and at what level their best actually is for them, right? For them, like how it's really interesting, because at the end of the day, it is like what you're doing is you're performing a psychological experiment to observe people. And this is not really something to, creep people out or weird people out. Don't stare at people, but observe them and observe how you react. It's very important. It's a key thing. Observe how you react to what they're doing and what they say. Because for some people, me included, so you judge people. Judging happens all the time. Excuse me. It happens all the time. But you judge them not because you have disdain for them or hate for them or whatnot, but in them you see certain reflections of yourself, certain possibilities of yourself, of things that could have been if you made certain decisions, or they reflect things about you that you vehemently choose to hide. Or they could be triggers or trauma. They can reflect triggers or trauma onto you. That's why you have that disdain. That's why you have that hate. Which is why it's important to observe those types of people so you can know where that's coming from, right? And the same thing goes for those people as well. To understand what your best actually is, interestingly enough, you have to understand what other people's best actually is. You're performing a comparative analysis with yourself and others, but not in a way that makes you feel bad or sad. I know I said in the past, don't compare yourself to others, but there's a certain extent that you should, because it's healthy. It helps you form a mind of your own if you have the proper support system. Sometimes when you compare yourself to others, you copy them, which is not the right solution. You have to have, which is why this is also important, a lot of things have to come together in the right manner in order for you to do this properly. You have to have a good support system and leaders and mentors to help you perform that comparative analysis. That way, when you observe those people and those things and you bring it back into yourself, you can perform an analysis of how you react to things and whether or not that's actually healthy, right? Whether or not that, even though it is your best, even if you can become better, is your best actually the best that you can produce when you take in all the variables, when you take into consideration what all else you could be doing. And that's the process, right? For a lot of people going through addiction or going through rehab or overcoming certain traumas or bad habits, that's really the process that they go through, right? They listen to other people, they may go to therapy, they perform comparative analysis, they get a better support system, better relationships, but all those things are learning experiences to help them process things better, more efficiently, more effectively. And then once they do that, once they become a better version of themselves, they can see and understand where everyone else is coming from. All right, that's important. Before we continue with this video, let's take a journey through the Cosmic Desist website, where I not only had the chance to take all of your money, but also show you guys what it really means to be part of this beautiful community of ours and grow together. When you go to the website, you'll be met with all the new happenings, different pathways to explore your inner reality, like your inner song, how you harmonize, and even how you gift yourself. We'll delve into what our roles are, my own subconscious and brand updates, each design's unique poetry, illustrations, and even how you can illustrate yourself. You'll find chances to win something and even realign yourself if you ever get lost along the way. You can't see other people's perspectives if you yourself are not open to other perspectives about yourself. And if I said it weirdly, let me explain again. The more you understand about yourself, the more you open up to reality. Because you are in of itself reality. You are existence embodied in a physical form. And if you don't understand why you make certain decisions, you are not understanding a key part of reality. So if you come to understand more of yourself, come to accept more of yourself, come to bring out the other parts of you that you consistently and vehemently try to hide or drink away or smoke away or sleep away or run away from, both literally and figuratively. If you are able to grow from those things and accept those things and love those things, you open yourself up to a greater understanding of what existence actually is and how you can become better, and how really everyone is trying their best with what they have. That's the key. Everyone is always trying their best with what they have. That's the crux of it. So when you have more tools, you become better. You know, that's a natural progression. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. But sometimes people can become better. They can get more wealth. They can become more successful, but still be carrying on certain bad habits because they have not fully grown out of those, which is fine. They're still trying the best with what they have, with what they know. They're still trying. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, everyone is always trying their best. Some way, somehow, always, at that very moment in time. That's it. That's it. It's really confusing and complex, and it can be a very as you can see from me earlier, it can really produce passionate reactions. People can be saying, "Oh, I don't. They're full of blah blah blah." No, it's not real. That's what's supposed to be. No, they're not. They're clearly not. I'm like, but when you do that, it's really highlighting the fact that you just don't understand that is part of reality. You don't understand it. You have a judging reaction to, if you have a judging reaction to what I'm saying, that's fine. That's the best you have. That's okay. That's just what it is. But if you have a judging reaction to what I'm saying and how I feel about this topic, then I implore you to really think about the words that I'm saying and compare it to what you see in the world and how you do things. And I'm not trying to come at you or anybody else. I'm just trying to trigger you into broadening your perspective. Let me correct myself. I'm trying to trigger you into broadening your perspective into multiple perspectives. The perspective of this tree, of this person, this dog, of this person, this thing, that thing, those things. I'm trying to branch you out like a literal tree, a healthy tree. Because that's what we are. We're trees. This life is a big tree full of different possibilities, different opportunities, different realities, different forms of existence. And they all offer their own unique perspectives, solutions, consequences, effects, results. They all offer something unique and very valuable to the overall experience. All of them. Everything, every person, everything you see, everything that you want, everything that you need, everyone that you want, everyone that you need, everything. Excuse me. About to run out of things to say. I'm coming to the end there. Just bear with me a little bit. So, once you come to the point where, you're growing and you're learning and you're becoming better and better, and your best is becoming greater than what used to be your best, other people can see it, and other people may still even have input because they feel like you can do better, or the way your best isn't what they would actually do or whatever. Just don't worry about it. Make sure your best always align with make sure your best always aligns with what's best for you. Make sure your best always aligns with the timeline, the reality that helps you get to the point of your most fulfilling life and love and abundance and health in all the best ways possible. You don't want to become greater due to negative actions and reactions to things. Even though that may be your best at the time, that may be the route that you have taken. That is not the healthiest route at the time. And this is a whole philosophy. There's a bunch of philosophies that talk about what I'm talking about right now, but choose the path that is the best for your overall well-being, for your inner child, for your shadow, for the other puzzle pieces that come together to make you, you. And if one of those puzzle pieces involves information from other people, from other things, and it fits into you in a way that pushes you to become even greater than you were before in a healthier and healthier manner, then do that. Then do that. Oh, I think I got it all out. I think I got it all out. And I guess, another thing, like when you're on this path, there might be residuals of your past self, things that come up to bring you back down, right? Because it's just some people don't want to see you get better, or some things don't want to see you get better. That's normal, right? It's just one last effort to try to bring you down. One last effort. It's not to say that you have haters or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. It's just life's way of giving you one last test before you blast off into something more, to something that embodies you trying your best better than your previous best, and so on and so forth and whatnot. And when we do that, we are healed. We are healing. So when you come across these obstacles, when you come across these people that always have something to say, that always have something. Some people just don't know when to stop talking. Always got something to say. When you come across those people, when you come across yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see and you choose to drink it all away or whatever, or when you come across people that love you and give you warmth and produce this aura, this attraction that you just can't help but move towards. When you come across all these things and you process it a little bit slower. You don't need to speed up. Move through life at your own pace. It may seem like you have to go 1,000,000 miles per hour all the time, but it ain't really that serious. It really ain't. You're really not. I'm not saying there's not serious parts of life, but life is only as serious as you make it. If you don't like what life is doing to you, start moving in a different direction. Easier said than done, but that's really all you have to do. And there's other intricacies that go into that, but that's all you have to do. Start moving in a different direction to better. And then you'll see that everyone is trying their best all the time, every day, every minute, hour, second, week, year, all the time. And you're trying your best all the time. And just be patient with yourself. Be patient with others, right? Control your energy, control your power, keep your power. Don't let others have power over you or strong influences over you. Be you. Because you are your best all the time, every single time. And if you need help, you will receive it as long as you want it, as long as you are open to it. Yeah, it's that simple, but that difficult at the same time. because humans in reality, we are oh so complex for no reason. No reason at all. So without further ado, I'm going to end this video. I hope that what I said overall has been helpful. I tried my best not to cuss, and I think I succeeded. I almost cussed a lot there because I was getting, some things were coming up and I was angry about. I'm so passionate about this stuff. I have so much love to give, and I observe so many things, and I don't have the worst experience of in the world, but I've experienced enough to understand that there's so many different people in this world that go through so many different things that can be disheartening or that can be inspiring. But all in all, I understand that life is hard and people are always doing what they can to survive. Always. And all they need is help and love and someone to listen to them, someone to see them. That's all. If they can just get a little bit of that and people are patient with them throughout all of it, the world will be so much better. Existence will be so much better. You will feel so much more free because you deserve to be here. You don't deserve all that BS. You are a being that comes from love. You are a being that comes from love. And you deserve to be surrounded with love and move with love. All this BS that comes at you, that comes around you, ignore it. I was about to say something else. I was about to say something else. Ignore it. Keep being you. Keep being the best version of you all the time. The support will come. Trust that. Believe that. Keep moving forward. The support will come. All you have to do is want it and ask for it, and keep moving towards the path and keep moving on the path that allows you to receive it and allows you to block out all the noise that is not conducive for your health, for your greatest health. Now I'm gonna stop because I'm about to act up. I was really about to act up. I'm glad that you stopped by here to listen, and I hope this conversation inspired you. So once again, without further ado, I'll see y'all later. I love you all, always and forever. Thank you all for everything that you do and everything that you don't do. I'll see y'all later. Love, peace, and serenity to you. Ta-ta.